All right, let's roll up to Woodland Hills, California, just outside of L.A., and pull up at Terrell Davis's crib, John Elway's best friend, Hall of Famer, Super Bowl champion twice over. Terrell, get us rolling here. We're going to talk some Andy Dalton, Dak Prescott. Is Andy Dalton any sort of a threat to Dak Prescott in Dallas?
First of all, I'm mad at you guys with that graphic. Got me on the couch looking like I'm just lazy and soft. I'm upset with that graphic, but I'll get past that. And I'll answer your question here. Is he a threat to Dak Prescott? The answer is no, he's not a threat to Dak. But I think if you're the Cowboys, you're looking at a guy who's a seasoned veteran, who's played, 8 or 9 years in the league. He's a proven starter in this league. And I think you need that for some depth. You need that for insurance purposes. You don't know what's going to happen with this contract. Dak might not report to camp on time. So it makes sense to me to bring him in to have some depth at that position in case you need to go a few games without your starting quarterback. But as far as thinking that Andy Dalton is somehow going to, beat out Dak Prescott, I don't see it. I know that over the years, Andy had some really good years, about 3 or 4 years ago. But I think we've seen his ceiling, and he's just, to me, an insurance purpose for the Dallas Cowboys. And I would be shocked if he beats Dak Prescott out in Dallas going into the 2020 season.
Oh, he's a threat, all right. But he's more of an idle threat, not an active threat. The difference being, he's not an active shooter, Remy on the Roof and Higher Learning. He's the old man in the scary movies. You ever go and watch the scary movie in the beginning, the old man sitting on the porch just looking like, okay, mess around if you want to, see what's going to happen. And look, we saw last year with Dak Prescott, had 5 games last year with more interceptions or didn't throw a touchdown. Mess around and have those games consecutively in a row. Oh, you know who's the most popular guy on a struggling team? The backup quarterback, so be careful, Dak.
Yeah, I think he's a bit of a threat too, Terrell, for the reason of if Dak misses the entire offseason and Andy Dalton gets to get established with the head coach, and if for some reason Andy Dalton ever gets on the field via injury because Dak sat out and he wins a game, that's going to plant a seed. Oh, we can win games with Andy Dalton. And if for some reason Dak's out and he misses 2 or 3 games and Andy Dalton goes 2 or 3-0 in that stretch, then he's a real threat. But let's keep it moving. Let's move to Antonio Brown, the former Raider, Pittsburgh Steeler, sat out almost all of the 2019 season. He's put out a picture over Instagram of himself playing in a Baltimore Ravens uniform. But I'm starting to have some real doubts if Antonio Brown's going to play at all this season. TD, do you think Antonio Brown remains out of football this season?
Wow. This is it's a tough one for me because I know that, and we talk about it, sometimes questionable character, talent will outweigh that. And if you're a team that needs a wide receiver of Antonio Brown's ability and skills, you might be desperate enough to say, I'm going to take a chance on him, especially if I can get a contract that keeps him at bay. That the first time he says something or does something, he's out of there. He's only playing for a bunch of incentives. You got enough teams who are starving who might want that explosive player in their locker room. But obviously all the legal stuff has to be taken care of. The commissioner has to be able to bless him to get him back into football. But if all those things happen, I would not be shocked to see Antonio Brown back in the NFL in 2020 because some desperate team is going to go get this man.
Man, I'm pretty much sold. It's a wrap for Antonio Brown, and it's unfortunate. And it's not even by the team-by-team breakdown. It's not even that. It's the umbrella of the NFL that has not even ruled yet on his suspension. And let's not act like the NFL before hasn't superseded the judicial system and said, I don't care what they're going to do in court. This is what's going to happen in the NFL. We haven't even gotten there yet. And that's a problem if you're Antonio Brown. He's already had 2 workouts since he left New England, and both teams sat there like, We don't know what to do with him because there is no ruling. So in a world where you go after Mike Mayock, who's a general manager, who basically worked for the NFL because he worked for the NFL Network, and then you double down on that and go after Bob Kraft, bruh, it doesn't take that much to just suggest that maybe he's not good for the NFL. Let's just say that.
Yeah, Marcellus, I'm going to follow up with you and bring Corona into this. Corona is one of the main reasons why the NFL now has an excuse not to finish their investigation with Antonio Brown. They have other higher priorities than cleaning up Antonio Brown's mess. And then, look, pro sports put up with a lot of BS. But I think the entire world, because of this coronavirus, is going to put up with just a teeny bit less BS. And I think character and what you bring into a locker room is going to just be 2% more important than it was before coronavirus. You have to trust the people you're working with. Eventually, we're going to go back into the TV studio, Marcellus. We have to trust each other that we're not doing stupid behavior and bringing corona into our workspace. I just think his character is going to catch up with him this offseason. And so I think there's a chance he misses. All right, now I
just need one.
Let me get to the money question. The main reason why we have you here, Terrell, is to talk about these running backs and running backs getting paid. Christian McCaffrey got paid this offseason in a major way. Derrick Henry got hit with the franchise tag, not a long-term deal. The Tennessee Titans say they're still trying to work out a long-term deal with Derrick Henry, but who deserved to get paid more this offseason? The NFL rushing king, Derrick Henry, or the do-it-all Marshall Faulk of the modern era, Christian McCaffrey?
You see, you threw that deserves to get paid more. You put the more on this thing, and I don't agree with that statement more. Both of these guys need to get paid. And here's the deal, because they have two different style running backs, right? You got McCaffrey, who is your, not only a really good rusher, but he's also a great receiver out of the backfield. So he fits a different system, and you can use him differently. Where you got, Derrick Henry, you're talking about a physical running back who's only going to fit in a certain amount of schemes that teams are running the ball with. I mean, Seattle might be running that system right there. He fits well in what they're doing in Tennessee. So you got to look at a player and say what he's worth to you. And for the Tennessee Titans, he is worth a lot. So they should break the bank, make sure that he's taken care of, to make sure they have that running game. Everything they do in Tennessee is off of what this man brings to the table. So it's not about who deserves to get paid more. They both need to get paid. Chris McCaffrey got his money. Derrick Henry needs to get paid. King Henry, get paid. Pay the man.
Look, they both deserve to get paid, but who deserved it more? Christian McCaffrey. He's more versatile, and he has a smaller target area. We all know about big running backs. Shoot, I played running back my entire career until I got to the league. And one thing I witnessed from all the big running backs, TD, I got film too, it's real. All the big running backs I know, when they fall off the cliff with a jetpack. I mean, it happens like that. So for Christian McCaffrey, there's an evolution. He could become a pass catcher. Hey, we can move him to slot receiver. Let him be Wes Welker 2.0 or something like that. Kind of how the cornerback goes to safety. There is no shifting Derrick Henry once he hits that wall. It's a wrap. It's going to happen, and it's going to be sudden. So, you got to pay Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, I've gone back and forth on this. Love them both. Today, and this is where I feel today, I'm going to lean into Derrick Henry. And I say that because again, 2nd and 5 is a quarterback's best friend. That is how you protect a quarterback. You line him up 2nd and 5. We can sit here. Christian McCaffrey's a great receiver, and that's going to be a nice weapon for Teddy Bridgewater. But Derrick Henry is a 2nd and 5 machine. He's going to get you 4 or 5 yards on first down and put you in great position as a play caller and as a quarterback. And so he carried his team to the playoffs and some playoff upsets. So who deserved it more? I would say Derrick Henry. He made Ryan Tannehill what he is. Yeah. You go look at Christian McCaffrey, Cam Newton, Kyle Allen, all that last year. Great numbers from Christian McCaffrey. And I'm not putting him down. I love the kid. He's a modern-day Marshall Faulk. But I'm going to lean today a bit more into Derrick Henry. TD, he's not quite Derrick Henry. He's not quite Terrell Davis because, yeah, you took the greatest player of all time, John Elway, and elevated him even higher. Derrick Henry hasn't done that quite yet. But you're a great analyst for the NFL Network. We'd love to have you back. Love your work. Marcellus, real quick, TD to me kind of looks like Fab Five Freddy from Yo MTV Raps. You remember Fab Five Freddy?
Hell yeah.
Fab Five Freddy.
He does. Look at the 80s background, boy.
Hold on. Yeah. I guess hold on. Who was the big guy? It was Dr. Dre. I guess I would be Dr. Dre.
And Dre. And Ed Lover.
Yeah,
Dr. Dre and Ed
Lover, Marcellus. Yeah. Yo, MTV speaks for itself.
Yeah, they should do that.
From the.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. And be sure to check out more of the best clips from Speak For Yourself or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.